If you're over 60 and you've noticed your vision isn't as sharp as it used to be, or your memory feels slower, foggier, or less reliable, there's an important truth most people never hear. These changes don't happen all at once. They happen quietly. You don't wake up one day and suddenly lose clarity. Instead, it shows up in small ways. Reading takes more effort. Eyes feel tired sooner. Names slip your mind. Focus fades faster than it used to. And many seniors assume this is just normal aging. But here's what often gets missed. Your eyes and brain don't repair themselves during the day. They repair at night. While you sleep, your body redirects energy toward healing, restoring retinal cells, clearing metabolic waste from the brain, and stabilizing the signals responsible for memory and focus. The problem is this. After 60, many people aren't supplying the right nutrients before sleep for that repair process to happen properly. This isn't about supplements or complicated routines. It's about timing. It's about giving your body what it needs when it actually does the repair work. And if you're wondering whether it's too late, let me reassure you right now. You're in the right place. Vision and memory decline are not all or nothing switches. They respond to support. Even later in life, the body is still listening. In this video, I'm going to share 4 simple juices that support eye health and memory in a very specific way, by nourishing the brain and eyes before sleep, so nighttime repair can work more effectively. These aren't trendy drinks. They're foods your body already recognizes, used the right way. And before we dive into the first juice on the list, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to 4 Seniors Health. This channel is designed for seniors to discover how simple food choices can lead to a powerful, healthy comeback. Now let's begin with the juice that quietly feeds the eyes themselves. Juice number 1, carrot juice. Let's start with the juice most people recognize, but few understand deeply: carrot juice. Carrots aren't just good for the eyes in a general sense. They support vision in a very specific, nighttime way, right where age-related decline usually begins. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A isn't about sharp eyesight during the day. It's essential for night vision. Inside the retina are light-sensing cells called photoreceptors. These cells rely on vitamin A to reset themselves after exposure to light. As we age, that reset process slows down. That's why dim lighting, night driving, and screen glare become harder to tolerate. Carrot juice helps supply the raw material those photoreceptors need before sleep, when repair actually happens. But vision support doesn't stop there. Carrots also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 pigments that naturally accumulate in the macula, the central part of the retina, responsible for sharp, detailed vision. These compounds act like internal sunglasses. They filter damaging light and help protect delicate retinal tissue from oxidative stress that builds over decades. Here's the part many seniors don't realize. Those same nutrients also support the brain. Carrots contain falcarinol, a natural compound studied for its ability to reduce low-grade inflammation. Inflammation doesn't just affect joints, it affects brain signaling. When inflammation is reduced, memory recall and mental processing often improve subtly over time. Several observational studies have linked higher carotenoid intake with better memory performance and visual recall in older adults. Not dramatic overnight changes, but steadier clarity and less mental fatigue. Now, how you drink carrot juice matters. Carotenoids are fat-soluble, which means your body absorbs them better with a small amount of healthy fat. A teaspoon of olive oil, a few nuts, or drinking carrot juice alongside dinner can make a noticeable difference in absorption. Timing matters too. Carrot juice works best in the evening, a few hours before sleep. That gives nutrients time to circulate so the eyes and brain can use them during nighttime repair. One more important note: this isn't about overdoing it. A small glass is enough. Consistency matters more than quantity. Carrot juice doesn't force your eyes or brain to change. It simply gives them what they need, so your body can do what it already knows how to do. And now that the eyes are nourished, the next juice answers a critical question many seniors never think to ask. What if the nutrients aren't reaching the eyes and brain efficiently in the first place? Let's move to juice number 2. Juice number 2, beet juice. Now let's address the missing link that often explains why vision and memory support don't always work as expected. Circulation. You can consume the best nutrients in the world, but if blood flow to the eyes and brain is reduced, those nutrients don't arrive where they're needed most. And after 60, circulation naturally slows. Blood vessels become less flexible. Oxygen delivery drops. Tiny capillaries in the retina and brain don't respond the way they once did. This is where beet juice becomes powerful, and very different from the first juice on this list. Inside the body, nitrates are converted into nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as a gentle signal that tells blood vessels to relax and open. When vessels widen, blood flows more freely. More oxygen reaches tissues. More nutrients get delivered, especially to areas with dense, delicate networks like the eyes and brain. Here's why this matters for vision. The retina depends on microscopic blood vessels to stay healthy. When circulation is reduced, retinal cells receive less oxygen and become more vulnerable to damage. Over time, this can affect contrast sensitivity, visual sharpness, and how quickly the eyes adjust to changes in light. Beet juice supports retinal microvascular flow, helping protect those tiny vessels that quietly determine visual clarity. Now let's talk about memory. The brain is an energy-demanding organ. Areas involved in focus, decision-making, and recall, especially the frontal regions, are highly sensitive to blood flow. When circulation improves, mental processing becomes more efficient. People often describe this not as a boost, but as feeling less foggy, more alert, and steadier in thought. One of the most interesting things about beet juice is how quickly it works. Studies have shown that blood flow improvements can begin within 30 minutes. That doesn't mean instant memory changes, but it does mean the delivery system turns on fast. For seniors, this timing is important. Drinking beet juice earlier in the evening allows circulation to improve before sleep. During the night, when repair processes are active, better blood flow means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients to both the brain and the eyes. Preparation matters. Fresh beet juice works best when diluted slightly or combined with water. Some people prefer mixing it with carrot or apple for taste, but even a small amount is effective. You don't need much. Best time to drink it? Late afternoon or early evening, several hours before bed. Avoid taking it right before sleep if it feels stimulating. Your goal is improved circulation during the night, not alertness at bedtime. Beet juice doesn't repair vision or memory on its own. What it does is open the pathways, so the nutrients from the other juices can actually reach the cells that need them. And that brings us to the next juice, the one most closely linked to memory itself, in protecting the brain cells that store it. Juice number 3, blueberry juice. Now we come to the juice that speaks directly to a fear many seniors don't say out loud: memory slipping away. Blueberries aren't just associated with memory because they're popular. They're studied because they contain a unique group of compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep color, and they play a special role in how brain cells age. Anthocyanins help protect neurons from oxidative stress, the kind that slowly wears down communication between brain cells. Over time, that wear and tear shows up as slower recall, reduced focus, and the feeling that information is on the tip of your tongue, but harder to reach. Here's what makes blueberries different from most foods. Their compounds can cross the blood-brain barrier. That barrier exists to protect the brain, but it also limits what nutrients can get in. Blueberry compounds are small and flexible enough to pass through, meaning they can directly support brain tissue rather than working indirectly. Inside the brain, these compounds are linked to healthier activity in the hippocampus, the region involved in forming and retrieving memories. As we age, this area becomes especially vulnerable. Supporting it doesn't create new memories overnight, but it helps protect the pathways that keep memory accessible. The eyes benefit too. The retina contains specialized nerve cells called retinal ganglion cells. These cells transmit visual information from the eye to the brain. Blueberry compounds help protect these cells from stress and inflammation, supporting clearer signal transmission. That's why blueberries are often associated with both visual processing speed and mental clarity. Several clinical studies have observed improvements in memory performance and processing speed in older adults who regularly consume blueberries or blueberry-based drinks. Not dramatic before and after moments, but steadier focus, fewer lapses, and better mental endurance. Let me share a real-life example. Helen, a 74-year-old retired teacher, described feeling mentally tired by mid-morning and frustrated by small memory slips. After adding blueberry juice in the evening, consistently, not excessively, she noticed something subtle after a few weeks. Words came easier. Reading felt less draining. She didn't feel younger, she felt clearer. That's the kind of change this juice supports. Timing matters here. Blueberry juice works best in the evening, a few hours before sleep. That allows protective compounds to circulate so the brain can use them during nighttime cleanup and repair. You don't need a large glass. A modest serving, taken regularly, is enough. Blueberry juice doesn't force the brain to perform, it protects what's already there. So memory and clarity don't slip faster than they have to. And now we move to the final juice, the one that quietly connects vision and memory chemistry in a way most seniors have never been told. Let's continue. Juice number 4, spinach juice. This final juice is the one most seniors don't expect, because spinach is rarely talked about as a brain food, and yet it quietly connects vision and memory at a chemical level. Spinach is one of the richest natural sources of lutein and zeaxanthin, two pigments that the body actively transports and stores in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp vision, contrast, and detail. As we age, levels of these pigments decline. When that happens, vision doesn't just become blurry, it becomes slower. Glare feels harsher. Reading small print takes more effort. Processing visual information simply isn't as quick. What makes lutein and zeaxanthin special is that they don't just stay in the eyes. These same compounds are also found in brain tissue, particularly in areas involved in visual processing speed and cognitive performance. In other words, what protects the eyes also supports how the brain interprets what the eyes see. That's the eye-brain connection most people never hear about. Spinach also provides folate, a B vitamin critical for neurotransmitter balance. Neurotransmitters are the chemical messengers that allow brain cells to communicate. When folate intake is low, signaling becomes less efficient. Memory retrieval slows, focus weakens, and mental fatigue shows up sooner. Folate also plays a role in regulating homocysteine, a compound that tends to rise with age. Elevated homocysteine has been associated with vascular strain and cognitive decline. Spinach helps keep those levels in a healthier range, quietly supporting long-term brain protection. There's another nutrient in spinach that often gets overlooked: vitamin K. Vitamin K supports myelin, the protective coating around nerve fibers. When myelin is well supported, signals travel faster and more clearly. When it's compromised, communication slows, both in vision and memory. Now, an important note for balance. Spinach contains oxalates, which can interfere with mineral absorption if consumed in very large amounts. This doesn't mean spinach is harmful, it means moderation matters. A small serving of spinach juice, used consistently, is far more beneficial than large amounts taken occasionally. Preparation helps too. Lightly blending spinach with water, or combining it with other juices on this list, reduces digestive load. Adding a squeeze of lemon can also support mineral balance and absorption. Timing matters here as well. Spinach juice works best earlier in the evening, not right before bed. This gives the body time to absorb folate and lutein, so they're available during nighttime repair of both the eyes and the brain. Spinach doesn't create sudden changes you feel overnight. What it does is strengthen the chemistry that keeps vision sharp and memory steady over time. And now that you've seen all 4 juices, the final question becomes simple. How do you use them together without turning this into a complicated routine? Let's bring it all together. By now you may be thinking, do I need to drink all 4 of these every day? The answer is no, and that's important. What makes these juices effective isn't overload. It's synergy. Each juice plays a different role, and together they support the same nighttime goal from different angles. Carrot juice nourishes the retina so light-sensing cells can reset. Beet juice improves circulation so oxygen and nutrients actually reach the eyes and brain. Blueberry juice protects memory pathways and visual signaling. Spinach juice supports the chemistry that keeps both systems communicating clearly. Think of it like a team, not a single hero. One juice feeds the tissue, one opens the delivery routes, one protects the cells, one stabilizes the messaging. When seniors rely on only one nutrient or one food, results are limited. But when support is layered gently and consistently, the body responds better, especially during sleep, when repair naturally occurs. Now let's make this simple. You don't need a strict schedule or complicated rules. A practical approach works best. Early evening, 2 to 3 hours before bed. Choose one juice, carrot, beet, or spinach. Rotate them across the week. Evening, after dinner, not right before sleep. Add blueberry juice on days when memory and mental clarity feel most important. You can rotate rather than stack. 2 juices in one evening is plenty. Some days, even one is enough. Consistency matters more than quantity. This routine respects how seniors actually live. No pressure, no perfection, just steady support that fits into real life. When the body senses regular nourishment without stress, it does what it's designed to do: repair, stabilize, and protect. So what can you realistically expect from this? Not overnight miracles. And that's actually a good thing. What most seniors notice first isn't dramatic change, it's subtle relief. Eyes feel less strained in the evening. Reading feels a little easier. Mental fatigue doesn't arrive as early. Names come back quicker. Focus holds a bit longer. These are small signals, but they matter because they tell you something important. Your body is still responding. For some people, these shifts appear within a few weeks. For others, it's slower and steadier. Vision and memory don't rebuild in a straight line, but they do respond to reduced stress, better circulation, and consistent nourishment, especially during sleep. And if you're wondering whether it's too late after 60, let me say this clearly. Decline is not the same as damage. The brain and eyes are adaptive. They don't stop listening just because you crossed a certain age. What often changes is the quality of the signals they receive. When those signals improve, gently, consistently, the system stabilizes. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting independence. Being able to read without frustration, recognizing faces easily, trusting your memory, feeling confident in everyday moments. That's the real goal. Now we'd love to hear from you, and I personally read every comment. Which of these juices have you tried, or which one will you try first? Share below. We're building a community here for strong comebacks. So subscribe, hit the bell icon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. If this was helpful, give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Join me in the next video. I've got more surprises waiting for you.